All right, everyone, welcome to the By the Minute Mixed Martial Arts Show. We're here on Sunday, March the 26th. It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. We are just a week past UFC London, and on the show today I have Arnold Allen. How you doing, Arnold? You all right?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, not a problem, not a problem. So, before we talk about the fight last week, something I wanted to ask straight away was about your weigh-in with Makwan Amir Khani. How
Yeah.
did that come about where you got to that agreement where you do the sort of like the fake face off pretending you're going to be fighting and then
Uh,
we see the
he
breakup?
yeah, he mentioned it in the way where it lined up. It'd be funny. I was like, yeah, why not? So, yeah, he brought it up, and we just thought, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I always wonder about how that comes about, obviously, because I can't imagine it can be something that comes up spontaneously, to be honest, because it
Yeah,
could end up quite bad. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
going on to the fight, that moved you on to 3-0 in the UFC. What did you think of your performance overall? And I noticed at the end you spoke a little bit about kind of deviating from your game plan.
Yeah.
What was the plan going into this fight, and how did you feel it
Um,
went?
the plan was mainly there was a glimpse of the game plan in round three. I think where I was sort of throwing my straight punches and moving and sprawling and breaking from the clinch. That was the plan. But I think it would have been a lot more easy of a night, a lot easier of a night if I stuck to that plan. It seemed like it was going well in that couple of minutes. I stuck to it, but it was a fun fight, and yeah, I'm glad I sort of proved I can wrestle and grapple with some good level of wrestlers, grapplers.
Yeah, I remember we did the preview show for this, and I said I didn't have a feel for this fight, but I felt it could have went anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah,
What did you think when you heard the scores right out? Because obviously he came out with a 29-28, then it was a
yeah.
30-27 for you, and then the third score 30-27. When you heard the 30-27, did you think, yeah, this is my fight?
Yeah, well, I thought 30-27 was. I thought I won every round. To be honest, yeah, I was a bit confused when I heard 29-28. I was like, hmm. I was like, maybe I'd give him one round, but I don't know about 2-1. I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
I think I could make a decent argument for him in the first, but I really couldn't.
Yeah,
I really didn't feel I could make an argument for him in the second or the third. So
no, that's how I felt. But yeah,
yeah. So I was entertaining fight as well. Did you feel a little bit miffed that there was 4 performance bonuses handed out? Did you feel that you had a case for a fight of the night? Obviously, a fight of the night wasn't handed out.
yeah, uh, yeah. A few people have said it to me. Obviously, I would have loved to take up one of them bonuses, but yeah, there was some nice knockouts in the show as well. So I mean, they were nice finishes, and I can't argue with that.
Yeah. Sometimes I suppose it's tough to argue, but um,
Yeah.
have you now that you've had a sort of a week to think? Have you thought about who you'd quite like to face next and when you would like to get back in the octagon? Because obviously you had a bit
Um,
of a layoff before this one.
yeah. Some point in the middle of the year, I'm going to be home for a few weeks training, and I reckon I'll head back out to TriStar soon. But I've had a few ideas of who I'd like next, but to be honest, I don't want to mention anything or say anything because I haven't yet spoke to Fraz, and he's probably got other ideas to what I've got, or I want to speak to him before I sort of think of anything.
That makes sense. So, how I know you're out of TriStar right now with or training with TriStar with Faraz
Yeah.
Zahabi. Is this how many fights have you done with Faraz in your corner?
That's the second now. Yeah, 2 fights with Fraz there. So I signed in my first UFC fight. I won when I was back at VKK, but then basically I've always wanted to sort of travel and go to one of these big teams. And as soon as I won my debut, I was like, well, I got the money to go do it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go live in TriStar for a bit.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
sense. How do you enjoy Montreal?
I like it in the summer, especially the summer, but the winter is a bit brutal. It gets down to the -30s and stuff, and I don't quite enjoy that.
I know we always complain about the weather in Britain. At least it's somewhat consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At least
it's,
you know
it,
what you're going to
it's,
get.
it's either a little grey or it's a little rainy, but I could deal with a little grey over a -30.
Yeah, definitely. I'll take that. It's glorious sunshine outside today.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
nice.
I'm finding it quite surprising. So, have you had an idea of perhaps? Obviously, I'm going to be asking this about UFC Glasgow in July. Is that a potential target for the next fight? We're looking at middle of July.
Yeah, that could be a potential. Yeah, I don't see why not. But yeah, I'd like to get travelling about. Obviously, I want to Like I said, I like traveling, but I keep getting on the Britain cards, and I don't mind. Obviously, it's nice to fight in front of the home crowd always. But one of my goals as well is to see the world as well, get around. I want to. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. So, wanted to go back a little bit to UFC 204. Obviously, you were supposed to fight Mirsad Bektik on that card, and you had to pull a couple of weeks before. I never found out what the problem was. What actually happened there?
I had like a mild case of pneumonia. I was messed up. I had like basically like 8 weeks out. I just had like a common cold. I was like a little bit ill, so I had a week off. And then I come back, I kept pushing, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I had like bronchitis, and when Faraz sent me to see the doctor, they were just like, yeah, you can't fight. Yeah, I was messed up for at least a month after I was supposed to fight, which sucked.
That must be a nightmare, to be honest. I actually still have the program from UFC 204 with your fight with Mirsad Bektik still on the fight card as well.
Oh, really?
That was obviously disappointing that you lost that one out. Obviously, you've been in the UFC now for it's just over 2 years, and you've had 3 fights. It's just been, despite obviously the success going 3-0 in the UFC. Obviously, there must be a bit of frustration with how far apart the fights have been.
Yeah, there is. I want to have. I'm realistic as well. I know if you're not like super popular, there's no demand for them to sort of get you back as soon as possible, and then when I do get a fight, I get bloody sick, and it's my fault, and But I just had a bit of bad luck, a couple of injuries here and there. But I signed with I messed my hand up in the fight before I signed to the UFC, and I kind of took the fight with a bad hand, and then I messed it up again, and that kind of set me back another 6 months. But I feel good now, and we'll see. I was happy to take the time, to be fair, because I wanted to improve. I wanted to climb the levels. I wanted to be ahead of the competition. I wanted to be, I always said when I'm fighting top 20 guys, I want to be ready for the top 10s, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was really impressed with the performance on Saturday last week as well. And like we touched on before, obviously you come from an amateur boxing background that a lot of people know about, but at what point did you start training in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, that type of thing to get you to this point? Because obviously 23 years old, it seems hard to have an amateur boxing career and then fit in the time to get that to that level.
Yeah, well, I kind of was playing around with jiu-jitsu when I was like 15, so I was still boxing at that time, but I was just like kind of messing around with it and enjoying it. But I remember I was boxing when I had my first amateur MMA fight, and I remember at the time my boxing coach, he was going crazy. He was like, he weren't happy. I had to compete under my middle name, which is Billy Allen. So in my MMA, my first few fights, it was like Billy Allen versus so. Yeah, because obviously the boxing commission, they find out they wouldn't be happy. So
that's true. Yeah. So I look at the featherweight division right now, and obviously we look at a pretty good depth. Obviously, Mirsad Bektik, that you were supposed to face, was I think he's ranked 15th at the moment, which tells you a lot about that division. At what point do you think that you would be looking at having a number next to your name? Are you looking at that for the end of this year, maybe the start of 2018?
Either the end of this year, start of next year. I think that sounds good. That time schedule sounds good to me.
Yeah, it seems quite realistic, especially. I always have a look because I'm always quite interested on like some of the ranking. The ranks like the whole thing, and I see you normally between 20 and 25. So and the way the featherweight division is right now, 1-2 wins can get you right up there. So
exactly.
Quite impressed with that. One thing I saw on your Instagram or Twitter was about Red Nose Day. What were you selling to raise money for that, and how much did you end up making?
My walkout shirt. I've still got it here. We haven't set it off, but it's still, someone offered 200 quid for it, but it's still like they're counting up the auctions until tomorrow, so they're going to ship it off tomorrow. But yeah, it was at least 200 quid. I think they haven't updated me yet because I put it on Fight Store. They took care of it for me.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just going to sign it and send it off for them. But yeah, so I've at least 200 quid, and then I taught a class yesterday in at BKK. We just all sort of donated and chipped in. I think it was 135 quid. I think we raised. So yeah, it was good.
It's pretty good effort. So, going back to your post-fight promo on Saturday, one of the quotes that kind of lived with me was when you said to Dan Hardy, how do I make the crowd love me like they love you? And it seems to me it's quite strange, because one thing you kind of touched on was like negativity on Facebook and Twitter, and I have noticed that as well to some of the British fighters, which I found kind of strange.
Yeah.
A performance like Saturday night goes some way to shutting them up, but have you had a lot of positive messages since Saturday?
Yeah, I've had a lot. It's good. I've had a lot of people sort of reach out and then send me positive advice, so that's really good. But yeah, it's a shame. I hate when I see it, like they announce like a card in the UK, and I'm like, they're all sort of young guys, good guys coming through. Obviously, Mark Duquessis he looked really good, and he's 24. He's another young guy.
Yeah.
Then you got the other end. You had Brad Pickett, who's on his retirement fight, and he's beat some top guys. He's a top competitor. Jimmy Manuel is knocking everyone out in a minute, and then people were sort of slating the cards. I'm like, I don't think it's that bad of a card. It's a good card, but.
When I looked up and down that card, I was like, this has got the potential to be a really, really good night. And I don't understand why people are complaining. I think the only reason can be is that we seem to kind of got to a stage in MMA at the moment where everybody cares about the top 3 or 4 names.
Yeah.
Everybody else just seems to be on the same level to them, and I find that kind of disappointing. But
I think you're right with that one. But yeah, I guess they want like maybe like title fights or something, or contender fights. But they're top. There's top people on the card. It's just maybe they're not as well known, like worldwide, I guess maybe. But,
yeah. Like when you mentioned Duquessis, obviously that was a bit of a star-making performance for him.
Yeah.
And against Teemu Packalén, biggest fight of his night, and that's like on the middle of the prelims. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That in itself says how good this card was.
Yeah, definitely.
So
he's one for the future as well from the UK. He looks good. It's good.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I've been impressed with the evolution of MMA in the UK. But one thing I always kind of want to ask people from the UK about this: is there anything that could be done about, like, I know this is kind of like a wide question, but is there anything that could be done about like the school curriculum? Obviously, you're not going to get boxing or kickboxing or anything like that, but obviously we see wrestling prospects coming out of America and places like that where it's ingrained. Is that something that we as a country should be looking at in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be. I remember when I was in high school, I tried to get boxing in the school, and they just weren't having it. But I think it's like what do you call it? Like the pussification of the future, you know what I mean? I remember playing rugby at school. It was always touch rugby, like no contact rugby. It's like, it's rugby, man. Like, how can you have no contact rugby? It's pointless.
I know.
But just stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange to me, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, one thing I like to ask people as well, obviously you train at BKK over here, you train at TriStar over there. We know a lot of the big TriStar names, but is there anybody in the gym right now that people aren't that familiar with in either gym that people need to be looking out for the future?
Yeah, one guy really, well, there's a whole team at TriStar that helped me out a lot, but the one guy in particular who really helped me for the last fight and my previous fight there, Louis Sanadaki, his name is. He was in my corner last week, but yeah, he's a really solid fighter. Like, he's good everywhere, like good on the ground, really good on the ground, like really good standing up. He's smart. I think he's 5-1 at the minute, but he's a lot better than his record says as well. So hopefully you'll see him in the future.
I always like to just keep a note of names that I need to look out for the future.
Yeah,
and especially when
Sorry,
on you
him
go.
And a guy called Mandel Nallo, Louis Sanadaki and Mandel Nallo. I'm sure you'll see those guys out there soon enough.
I'll keep an eye on that as well. We had Ayman Zahabi as well, made his UFC debut quite recently as well. I was really impressed there. So obviously a lot of talent coming out of TriStar at the moment.
Yeah. Those guys, they're unreal. I remember when I first went there, because I'd never heard of it. I didn't really know what the Canadian scene was like. Obviously, I knew GSP and Rory and that, but I trained with him. I was like, but these guys have had half as many fights as me, and they're this good. And I'm like, oh man, they're really good, really good.
The level's kind of frightening as well. We've seen a lot of the UK prospects go over to TriStar as well, because Joanne Calderwood's there, Stevie Ray's there from Scotland. That's almost our entire UFC roster for Scotland.
Yeah.
So
she's JoJo's doing well. Hopefully, see her fight soon. Hopefully, she has something. I know she was moaning every day because she didn't have a fight. She's like begging for a fight. She wants to fight so bad. Like I've never seen someone want to fight as much as she wants to fight. It's crazy.
I think I'm still going to start the campaign that they need to rebook her and Paige Van Zandt for UFC Glasgow. I don't think I'm going to get my wish, but you can only try.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be really good. They both deserve the fight as well. It's a good fight. A really good fight.
It would be a lot of fun. So, like we mentioned at the start, Mother's Day today. What was your schedule this morning and tonight?
I cleaned the house for my mum. I did that this morning, and got some presents. But we're going out for dinner. I think we're going to a Greek restaurant in a bit downtown. I was just gonna chill out, but we're going. Gotta do what you gotta do.
It's not easy, is it? I was actually last night. Of all things, I was watching Invicta last night with my mum, so I felt that's quite good for Mother's Day. You know? I mean, she's a big MMA fan, so that keeps us.
Really? That's cool.
That keeps us quite sweet, so that's always good. At the moment, we're currently sitting about 10 to 5 on Sunday. Are you much of a football fan? I know England are playing in about 10 minutes, and I'm consciously going to let you go before that. But
I am a football fan. I do pretty much only watch the international football anymore, like now.
Right.
But yeah, I think because of the Mother's Day, I'm probably going to miss the second half of it. But yeah, I'll be catching the first half for sure.
Who they play in Lithuania?
I don't even know. I know England are playing. I follow England. That's it.
I'm the same, because I know Scotland are playing tonight, and I can't even remember who they're playing, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's either Slovenia or Slovakia. Scotland are playing back. I can't honestly remember, but
I'm the same. That's it. It could be Lithuania and Latvia. I don't know.
It's difficult, isn't it? But we'll start letting you go. Is there any plugs you want to put out there, be it social media, sponsors, anything like that?
Might as well shout out Rev Gear while I'm wearing their shirt.
Nice one.
Yeah, I'll do, I guess.
So social media is it Arnold BFA?
Yeah, that's right. Right.
What does the BFA stand for?
It means babyface assassin. I used to kind of go with this when I was younger, and I just never got around. Ash Grimshaw started it, and I just never changed it. I was just like, I'll keep it.
It's a AAA now, isn't it? The Arnold Almighty Allen.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm just going with whatever happens. I don't know.
I like the AAA thing. I think we need to.
Yeah, I like it. I kind of like it. Someone said it in the gym. I was like, yeah, that's kind of. I go with that.
I quite like it. So yeah. So hopefully we'll get something booked for you pretty soon. I hope to see you on the UFC Glasgow card, but
it'll be cool.
If you end up in Vegas or anything like that, then I am not going to complain. So
yeah, I'm not arguing with Vegas.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks very much for joining us, Arnold.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Enjoy your Mother's Day meal.
I will do.
And we will have more content on the website for you sometime. Thank you.
Sure thing. Cheers, mate.